Goku Day 2019 has come and gone, but here on SSG Network, every day is Goku Day. Anyways, to celebrate this very special occasion, we are looking at the newest DLC character for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Appropriately enough, it was released on Goku Day, May 9th, and it's Goku. Kid Goku. Kid Goku from Dragon Ball GT. Now, I already gave my initial thoughts on the inclusion of this iteration of Goku in my last Dragon Ball FighterZ video, so check that out if you haven't already, but long story short, I actually think GT Kid Goku is a cool addition to the game, and his inclusion is not meant to be disrespectful towards Dragon Ball Kid Goku fans or Super Saiyan 4 Goku fans, but instead as a way for Arc System Works to try and include both in the form of one character. Now that the character is actually released, I think that is absolutely 100% the case, thanks to a couple of awesome decisions ArcSys decided to make with the character. First of all, we can now take a look at his full moveset, and as expected, GT Kid Goku does in fact have a second level 3 super. It's the Dragon Fist Explosion, and just for good measure, he transforms into a Super Saiyan 4 before executing the move. While it's not the install super that some may have wished for, I think Super Saiyan 4 being here at all is an awesome addition and should definitely please GT fans who wanted to see some proper GT representation in the game. Besides, if you own the PC version of the game, I could guarantee you that this Super Saiyan 4 model of the character will be modded over the other playable versions of Goku, kind of like what modders have already done with Super Saiyan 3. So if you absolutely refuse to play Kid Goku and will only be happy if your Goku has furry red arms all the time, well, that's why mods exist, and that's why mods are awesome. Meanwhile, for all the original Dragon Ball Kid Goku fans, ArcSys decided to include an alternate color for Kid Goku that is basically his orange turtle gi from the original anime. Personally, I think this will be my most used costume for the character. It just looks awesome, and I'm really happy to see them throw us original Dragon Ball fans a little bone here with this outfit. But enough of what I think about the character. Hate him or love him, I think we can all agree that Arc System Works was always going to dive deep into the history of Dragon Ball and make sure every cinematic and move for GT Kid Goku was going to be painstakingly replicated from the original source material. And the character on the whole would act as a loving tribute to Goku overall. It's no secret that Arc System Works are masters of their craft and have managed to masterfully translate panels from the Dragon Ball manga and scenes from the anime to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Just how well was Arc able to translate GT Kid Goku from the Dragon Ball GT anime to Dragon Ball FighterZ? Let's find out with a side-by-side comparison. First off is GT Kid Goku's intro cinematic. He stretches out and loosens up for the battle that is to come before striking a pose.
体ちっこくなっちまったけど、中身はすげえぞ。
This intro looks like it takes influence from the very end of episode 42 of Dragon Ball GT. Here, Goku is in hell and about to fight Frieza and Cell. He loosens up and it looks quite like the animation we see here in Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's pretty slick and works really well as an intro for the character. Nice work, ArcSys. Next up, we have his level 1 super, and surprising absolutely no one, it's the Kamehameha. The Super Kamehameha to be exact, let's make sure we get it right here. It almost feels like there's a mandate for Goku in Dragon Ball FighterZ that he must have a Kamehameha as part of his moveset in some form or fashion. I'm not gonna lie, this one was kinda disappointing to me. I would have liked to see maybe the reverse Kamehameha as a super or a power pole super. I think both of those could have had some really interesting implementations as super moves, but unfortunately those moves are just regular special moves for Kid Goku, and he gets a boring old beam super in his place. Now, there's not really any specific reference that I could find for this Kamehameha, since Goku's used the move hundreds of times over the course of the anime, so I did my best finding some shots from GT that could match up, though they're not exact. It's also worth noting that if a teammate is down, instead of transforming into a regular Super Saiyan, Goku will transform into a Super Saiyan 3 before performing the move. While I can't complain about these madmen creating a brand new model just to make a super move look even more cool, I wasn't able to find a single instance of Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku using the Kamehameha in GT. Ever. Oh well. Luckily from here, it's just banger after banger. Kid Goku's first level 3 super is the Spirit Bomb. But it's not just any Spirit Bomb, it's the Super Ultra Spirit Bomb. For this move, ArcSys masterfully replicated Kid Goku's use of the move on E Shenron from Dragon Ball GT episode 63. This is perfect, this is beautiful, and I never doubted for a second that ArcSys would be able to nail some of those more memorable moments from GT in video game form. Speaking of nailing big moments, let's now take a look at Kid Goku's second level 3, the Dragon Fist Explosion. This move is perhaps the best example yet of Arc System Works' attention to detail and love for the original source material. First things first, the cinematic for Kid Goku's Dragon Fist Explosion changes depending on whether your teammates are alive or dead. If all teammates are alive, the move is performed by Kid Goku in his base form. As we can see here, the animation is straight out of episode 47 of GT, where Goku performs the killing blow on the absolute monstrosity that is Super 17. This move always looked good in animation, and here in video game form, that legacy continues. But let's move on now to what is probably the most exciting move in Kid Goku's entire toolkit. When Kid Goku uses the Dragon Fist Explosion after one or more of his teammates are defeated, he transforms into Super Saiyan 4 Goku and performs the move in an even more dramatic fashion. The Super Saiyan 4 Dragon Fist was seen in episode 59 of GT against E Shenron, and it looks absolutely incredible here in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now that we've looked at both versions of the move, did you manage to spot the difference? Besides the fact that Goku ages about 30 years instantaneously and grows a bunch of hair on his arms, if you look closely, the base form Dragon Fist Explosion actually ends with Goku firing off a Kamehameha for good measure. Well, Dragon Ball GT aficionados may have noticed this already, but that Kamehameha is straight out of the scene from episode 47 where Goku takes out Super 17. After landing the Dragon Fist, he blows his ass up with some follow-up Kamehamehas. That Kamehameha is absent for the Super Saiyan 4 version of the move, just like it was absent in the scene that cinematic was based on from episode 59 of GT. Who thinks of this stuff? I'll tell you who, it's Arc System Works, because they aren't satisfied just making a pretty good Dragon Ball fighting game. It needs to be perfect, and it's this kind of attention to detail that results in a perfect game like this one. Last but certainly not least, let's take a look at Kid Goku's outro cinematic, which is my personal favorite of them all. We see Kid Goku riding Shenron into the distance and above the clouds. Of course, this is straight out of the final and greatest episode of Dragon Ball GT, episode 64, where Goku travels around the world and gives his final farewells to his friends. I was so happy to see this episode represented through GT Kid Goku. With this cinematic in the game, I can say without hesitation that this character is basically a perfect representation of all the best moments from Dragon Ball GT. GT is no masterpiece, but I do still consider it an important part of the Dragon Ball franchise as a whole, and I'm happy to see it at least gets its due here in Dragon Ball FighterZ with GT Kid Goku. And that's gonna wrap it up for today. All in all, I think once again, ArcSys has delivered big time. GT Kid Goku is a fantastic addition to the game, and lives up to the incredibly high standard that Arc themselves have set here with the presentation of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Looking forward, we have 3 unreleased characters left for Season 2. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Super Broly, and, well, technically it's a mystery character, but it looks like someone over at Microsoft didn't quite get the memo.
To celebrate, today you can get GT Goku and Janemba skins for Dragon Ball FighterZ. GT Goku and Janemba skins, Janemba.
If that one turns out to be true, oh boy. Janemba is one of the most unique characters in all of Dragon Ball when it comes to his overall presentation and moveset. So if ArcSys can nail him like they've done with so many others, you better believe I'll have a video up just like this one, and I'll be fanboying all over that character once again. If you like this video and want to see more Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dragon Ball Super content, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. As the seemingly never-ending wait for the return of Dragon Ball Super continues, I encourage you to check out my latest Dragon Ball video. It's called Dropping the Ball. I take a deep dive into the history of Dragon Ball Z home releases in North America, the good times, the bad times, and why this newest 30th anniversary Blu-ray set has come as such a massive disappointment to so many Dragon Ball fans. All in all, it was a really fun look back at the last 20 years of Dragon Ball fandom, so check that one out if you haven't already. But until next time, thanks so much for watching everyone, and take care.